Good morning, and once again welcome to my YouTube channel, Pearson and Excel International Maths by Mr. Kamotho. And today I want us to look at example 10 of chapter 6 of Pure Mathematics 1, P1. And let's work together to explain example 10. We have looked at what we may call the cosine rule. And the cosine rule, if I may write it over here, is going to be a squared is equals to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine a. We have also understood the sine rule, whereby we talk about sine a over a is equals to sine b over b is equals to sine c over c. So these rules are going to really assist us in solving this question. And in example 10, we are told that the diagram shows the location of 4 mobile phone masts in a field. And BC is 75 meters and CD is 80 meters. CD is 80 meters. Angle BCD is 55. BCD is 55 degrees. And angle ADC is ADC 140 degrees. In order that the masts do not interfere with each other, they must be at least 70 meters apart. Given that A is the minimum distance from D, A is the minimum distance from D, so of course 70 meters as illustrated by the statement above. We are told that in order that the masts do not interfere with each other, they must be at least 70 meters, and therefore AD is minimum, meaning 70 meters. Given that A is the minimum distance from D, find the distance from A to B, the distance from A to B. And of course, it goes without saying that AB is not very straightforward, is not direct. And because we have just known how to deal with angles, not trapezium, we need to divide this diagram into triangles. And of course, we need to be very careful when we are dividing it into triangles. Well, we may have to divide it along that line, because we have this, and we can have that side. We may also decide to divide it along this height, because we have this side, and you have the angle included. And of course, this one give us a very we may not want to deal with angles that are beyond 100, beyond 90 rather, because they get into the different quadrant, and we might be needed or required to take care of angles in a different quadrant. So let us, instead of dealing with 140 degrees, we choose to deal with 55, and therefore we drop that height there. And of course, we need to get what is BD to start with, because AB is not straightforward, and we need to get that side, and then we need to get that angle. The moment we have this angle and that side, then we can easily get that side. And fine, we can easily have BD squared is equals to, using the cosine rule, 75 squared plus 80 squared minus 2, 75, 80, the cosine of 55 degrees. When you evaluate this using the calculator, you will realize that the BD squared is simply 5142 5142.08, and therefore BD is the square root of 5142.08, which is easily 71.7 meters, so to speak. So BD, as you can see, this is 71.7 meters. Having found that, it is now the question of asking ourselves, how then do we get AB? And now that we have this side, we have this side, we don't have this angle. Because if we had this angle, it would have been very easy again to use the cosine rule to get AB. But you realize this angle is within 140 degrees. And therefore, if we consider the triangle BDC, considering triangle BDC, we have the sine. Let's talk about x. The sine of x all over 75, now using the sine rule, is equals to the sine of 55 all over 71.7 meters. And this is the sine rule as we know it. And therefore, x is the sine inverse of all what will be given by this 75 times sine 55 all over 71.7. If we talk about this using our calculator, then we have 75 times the sine of 55 degrees, which can be that. Okay, if you divide this one by 71.7, we have 0.86. Now shift sign of answer, then we are going to have x to be 58.9 degrees. Now if we say x is 58.9 degrees, then we need to get what is y if we name that angle to be y. So 140 degrees minus answer, then we get 81.0.1 degrees. Let's say 81.045 degrees. So we are going to have 81.04 degrees. Now with that we can easily now use the cosine rule again, because we have AD, we have BD. Again, using triangle ABD and cosine rule, we have AB squared is equals to 70 squared plus 71.7 squared minus 71.7, the cosine of 81.04. Now, after we evaluate this, now we can easily find the AB to be, the square root of everything that will be born here. The square root of everything that is going to be born here, which is 8479.55. The root of that, which is easily 92.1 meters. Now AB is 92.1 meters. It goes without saying that AB is 92.1 meters. That is part A of the question. If we look at part B is asking us, find the angle BAD. Find the angle BAD. Find the angle BAD. And it simply goes without saying, because the angle BAD we have to find this angle, angle A, and we can see sine A over 71.7 is equals to sine 81.04 over 92.1 using the sine rule. So using that particular arrangement, let me bring the diagram closer here so that we can have it like this is 71.7, this is 81.04, this is 70, this is A, this is B, this is D, and this is now 92.1. So we are looking for that angle, and it goes, we're looking for this angle. It goes without saying that the sine of A over 71.7 is equals to the sine of 81.04 over 92.1. And again, A is the sine inverse of everything, the whole arrangement after cross multiplication. 71.7 times sine 81.04 all over 92.1, and this one is going to be something different, which is 71.7 times the sine of 81.04 divided by 92.1, which is 0.76. Shift sign answer, we get 50. We get our answer to be 50.3 degrees. So this angle, we can easily say that angle BAD is 50.3 degrees. And that is just part C, part B rather. Part C of the same question is asking us to find the area enclosed by the four masts. Find the area enclosed by the four masts. And the area, as we know it, is the area of the whole of this diagram. And again, because we have learned the area of a triangle, I wish to divide this diagram into two triangles, one of which is already here, and let me call it triangle A. And the other one is going to be this other one is going to be now B, D, and of course C. This is 75, this is 80, this is 55 degrees, and this is of course 71.7 meters. So, and let's call this one a triangle B. So the area is the area of A plus area of B. And how do we go about the area of A? Which is a half AB, that is times 70 times 92.1, the sine of angle A times sine 50.3 degrees. Of course, plus the area of B, which is a half AB sine C times 75 times 80 times the sine of 55 degrees, which is something else now. Now, if we talk about the area of the first triangle, we're talking about 0.5 times 70 times 92.1 times the sine of 50.3 equals to 24. This is 2480.2. And this other one is 0.5 times 75 times 80 times the sine of 55, which is giving us 57 point, let's say 5. So if we add the two, we are obviously going to get 2470, or rather 2457.5 plus 2480.2 which is 4937, which is 4937.7 meters squared. But if you look at the question, it's telling us to give our answer to, it's giving us the area enclosed by the foremast. Yes, we have that area, but if you would want to give it into three significant figures, then the area is going to be 4940 meters squared to three significant figures. And that is exactly what we have realized our answer to be. So note, this question is quite long and very important. Please walk with it step by step, and I'm glad that we shall be able to sail through. So that is example 10 for you, and I wish all of you watch this video several times so that you can actually follow. Yes, again, visit my YouTube channel, Pearson and Excel Mathematics, and of course, share and subscribe, and of course, like. Thank you.